The FBI's reputation with Americans has taken a huge beating over the last year, and James Comey's announcement last July of bringing no charges against Hillary Clinton over her email scandal, well, that could be a major cause of the blame.
Although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case.
But with Comey now ousted from his job, what should be done to restore Americans' faith at such a critical institution? E, I'm going to start with you on this.
Can I just jump in very quickly? I'll let the table take this. But what Comey said right there is very important, and probably the reason why he got fired. The FBI is an investigative body, not a prosecutorial body. What he said right there was a recommended a course of action for a prosecutor. And he became political by using his prosecutorial hat when he should have just kept with the investigative hat. He would have been fine. He lost the confidence of his own agents, and I think when that therefore became ineffective as an investigator.
I think you're exactly right. I think in that exact moment, he politicized the FBI in a way in which I hope they recover. I don't know that they will. Now, I'm going to come to you on this, Pat. This is what people are saying. They're saying that he did that as a way of protecting Loretta Lynch. That just a week prior to that, Loretta Lynch had that horrible meeting with Bill Clinton on the tarmac. We all heard about it. Her credibility was just in shambles. And so as opposed to making her, as she should have been the one to make that call, Eric's exactly right, instead of putting her in that position, this is him taking that bullet for her. Does that make it any better? Do you even buy that?
I think, Loretta Lynch should have dropped out of it, but the Deputy Attorney General, Eric, is correct. The FBI director, he's got all the information. He turns it over to the number 2 guy at Justice. They make the call as to whether or not to prosecute. The FBI does not make those decisions. It's an investigative body. And I think he went out there, and excuse me, he was a big hot dog out there. And, of course, he laid all this garbage on Hillary. At the same time, he says, we're not going to prosecute.
Can I ask you, Pat, because I want to know, so is that where he went wrong? Yes, right there in that moment?
He went wrong there?
Do you think President Obama should have fired him?
At that point, I think President Obama would have killed Hillary's campaign if he fired her.
But
do you think he should have fired? He would have gotten so much blowback from people like you on the right, which
no, look, I was not enthusiastic about.
They would have been saying, why would you corrupt the independence of the director of the FBI? Right now, when Trump does it, everybody's defending him.
I was stunned by what the director Comey did when he came out there, and in effect laid out a case for her indictment, and then said no prosecutor's going to indict.
Eric, do you think President Obama should have fired? Should he have fired Comey right there?
Why would President Obama fire Comey when he was laying a gift at the altar of Hillary Clinton?
I will tell you why, Eric Bolling. He should have fired him because it was the wrong thing to do. Because in that moment, Jim Comey did a job that is out of his scope. It is out of bounds.
If President Obama did fire Jim Comey, it would save the left a lot of heartache and Donald Trump a lot of headaches.
James Comey has caused a lot of heartache for the left and the right, but that's because he doesn't look at the world through left and right, conservative, liberal. He looks through justice and injustice, legal
do you think he did a good job, though? Nobody could say that he did a good job. Even what he did last week, messing up, saying thousands of emails when it was
I think he showboated.
As if Huma Abbott needed any more bad news.
Exactly. That's a huge difference.
As a Democrat, as a Hillary Clinton supporter, he ticked me off to no end. He went out ahead of his skis. He did all these things, all the Schumer and those guys.
You don't have to be bad at your job with a partisan slant to be bad at your job. You can just be plain bad at your job. And I think that Comey is an example of that. And I think that it's good that he's gone.
He didn't get fired because he was bad for his job.
I think that the timing, I have the same concerns with you about the timing, but I think that the fact that he's fired is good.
Do you think he got fired because he was bad at his job or because he was onto something with this Russia probe?
I'm all about investigating.
Gathering evidence.
I'm all about investigating into that, and I have the same concerns with you about timing.
Do you think Congress should appoint a special prosecutor? Do you think yes or no?
I think that Trump should even want that because this is not going to leave him. I think that that's a good idea.
Do you think, Eric, that they should?
Absolutely not. We have a House investigation. We have a Senate investigation. We have a Department of Justice investigation, and we have a group of FBI
Those guys all report into the President of the United States.
On this case for 10 months already.
They all report into President Trump.
Arrogated to himself a power and authority he did not have when he exonerated Hillary of an indictment and said, here's all the evidence for an indictment.
Your guy, J. Edgar Hoover, when Nixon was president, he did the same exact thing. You know how he got let go? He died right before the Watergate investigation. You guys never fired him for doing the same exact thing?
Read my book. I've got a memo to Nixon recommending the retirement of J. Edgar Hoover a year before his death.
There you go.
There you go. There you go, Mark.
I'll buy your book. I'll buy your book, Pat.